And we are live, according to the YouTube machine. My dog is drinking her water really loudly over here, so apologies for that. She's being very rude. How is everybody doing on this beautiful Wednesday evening? Guys, how we doing?
Everyone have a good Thanksgiving?
I think family's overrated, frankly.
Food's not.
The food was fantastic. No, I'm kidding. It was good. How about you guys?
That was good.
I worked.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
Way to bring that down, Steve.
So we didn't have any Thanksgiving dinner at my house. We cooked.
You were down in the coal mine?
Well, yeah. But we cooked a turkey, but we didn't have like a dinner. So I've been portioning my meals. I've been doing like meal portioning because I've been trying to eat better. So we just cooked this turkey because my work gave us a free turkey. And then I just portioned it out. So I had still like a week worth of turkey to eat, but I didn't eat it on Thanksgiving.
Who goes on a diet during the holidays?
I am. I'm going to be in Mexico. I'm going to be in Mexico in 3 weeks, and I'm not trying to look like a beached whale out there. I can't.
The way you look at it is like you can always come up with an excuse to not start, like the gym and dieting. Like you can always be like, I'm going to start at the new year, and then the new year comes around, or I'm going to wait till after the holidays, or I'm going to wait till next week. You just one day got to be like, screw it, I'm starting right now. Right?
Said that right. You said that. You said it right, Steve. We've got a few topics on the docket. We've got, wow, the chat is filling up. I'm already behind. I know everybody is shocked at that, but let's say hello to a few people. We have a pretty big announcement revolving around our new off-center RePack product. So I'll get into that in 1 second. Will Greer investor, bring on the $100 Will Greer RPAs coming in hot. I think he was just cut from the Pats here recently. So prices dipping. Maybe it's buy time for Will Greer, according maybe to Will Greer investor. Josh Packham, how we doing? I assume all cards in the RePack will be Drew Brees cards with an auto as the chaser. I don't want to put that's a big card. Okay, Josh. Let's see. We have to really run the numbers and make sure that we're making 300%. All right, Spurs card 21. Good to see you. Will, what is going on? Where is Will Greer these days? Exactly. David couldn't wait for us to get started. Thank you, David. GD, haven't seen you in a while, man. You used to make fun of me. I ate on a live stream one time like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Let me live that down.
I remember that. I still remember that.
Yeah, and GD hasn't been around in a while. At least I haven't seen him in the chat. So good to see you.
Hashtag never forget.
Steve doesn't have the hair. Okay, Ray?
Oh, yeah, I'm not wearing the hair I was wearing last week.
You mean a month ago?
Yeah,
like literally 3 weeks ago. We did this.
Yeah, we were supposed to live stream last week. I was all ready for it. I was like, man, I'm not doing shit for Thanksgiving. At least I can hang out and talk. And no, you guys decided to do other things.
Yeah, you were ready to roll last week. I felt bad, but
that's all right.
It was like out of town at my brother-in-law's house. It would have been a disaster. So this is just better.
You know what? I did go to the gym on Thanksgiving. It was open till noon, and I had to be there really early. Yeah. So.
Wow. Good for you, Steve. Good for you.
I'm trying, man. I don't want to die of a heart attack at 50.
Well, made the stream a little somber. All right. Jim in Florida, what's going on? Auctions on eBay are dead. We'll come back to this. You can get some good deals. The market is slowly dying. Speaking of negative Nellies over here, I do the gym so I don't have to diet. Fair. The gym bump, vintage card collector. What's up, AIH Sports? I'm here for the loaded boxes. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just dive right into it. So we have been talking about this for a little while. It's mainly Steve's idea, but I feel like we're the last group to come out with a RePack product at this point. Hell, I saw Seablez talking about how he hated RePacks going back a few days ago. And I don't know if he told his brother or not, but then the brother came out today and was like, hey, I hate RePacks, but we got a RePack on sale. So I'm really confused. So anyway, the off-centered RePack, we're still building it. It's mainly Steve's idea, so I don't want to take any of the credit for it. It's all Steve. He wants to start them at $1,000 and go up from there. It's going to be a high-end RePack. Steve, do you want to dive into some of the particulars that you were sharing with me?
No, I do not. We have to be right. We have to keep as much of it under wraps. Right. It has to be as much under wraps as possible. We have to be
no checklist.
We have to be absolutely as deceitful as we can be.
It's going to be an underground repack. This won't be something that you can get. It's going to be like a black market repack. You can't find it, over the counter. It's going to be special.
Yeah.
Mac Jones based on Russ PSA 10s is the chaser.
Right. You're not going to be able to find it anywhere.
After we receive all the funds and the blue packs are sold out, then we release the checklist and we move to Costa Rica. All right, boys. What do we want to dive into first? So Neo, I think you had a video. I was actually just watching it. Today's been crazy. I was trying to get caught up. Michael Rubin was on. Speaking of loaded boxes, he was doing what? He was talking to what's his face on a podcast?
Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons. That's his name. Okay. He was talking to Bill Simmons. Do you want to kind of fill us in on, I think the loaded boxes is a good place to start, especially since AIH is right here ready to go.
I mean, basically what he said is that they have hired a third-party auditor to audit them.
Dan the card man, hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. And AIH, aren't they? But no, Dan's the auditor, not AIH. He didn't get into the details of what they were auditing. That's kind of the tricky part. So it sounds good for them to say that, but are they auditing that that all the cards are on the checklist, or that they ended up in the packs, or that the packs ended up in the boxes, or that the boxes went to the right place? I know my comment section on that video, quickly scrolling through it before we went live, wasn't really buying what he was selling on that one, but apparently, at some point in time, starting this year, they have been auditing something. We just don't know what exactly. But the answer was related to Bill Simmons asking him about the perception that certain cards are going to certain places, and he didn't say you're getting hit on breaks, but he was referring to just breakers in general. So it was implied that it was auditing around the loaded box thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like
without knowing what they're auditing, it's hard to really say one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I know, and he did throw out, I think he said Deloitte. So it's not like a,
yeah, that's a legit.
It's a legit auditing company. It's not it's a big four auditing.
It's not off-centered auditing.
No, it's not. I mean, if they really wanted to spend big money and get the real work done, they would call us, but they're going to go with Deloitte, I guess, instead. So we've got third-party auditing, which I think is really interesting. And you're right. We don't have really enough detail around that to understand. I think that's just kind of to me, you're throwing out hey, we've hired professionals. So we're kind of this is end of discussion. But there is more nuance to that conversation for sure. So we'll have to see how that goes out.
To me, they talked. He interviewed him for about an hour. 20 minutes of it was, or probably 15 to 20 minutes of it was on collectibles, period. That was probably the biggest. Oh, well, holy smokes, they're doing that. The other good nugget that I thought was he talked about authenticating cards and putting, essentially what he was talking about doing is in the future, they're going to microchip high-end cards. He used the MLB debut patch as an example. They will put something inside that card that you will be able to authenticate it with. So I don't know if that's an RFID tag or some other crazy tech, but you'll be able to essentially, I don't know, hold your phone close to it. He didn't get into the details at all, but on super high-end cards, you will be able to verify that is real. In the video that I did, I speculated it would be nice if it tied back to an image, because we've had all those LeBron exquisite RPAs with swap patches. If the chip had an image of the card, so when you scanned it on a PSA cert, it brought up the original card on how it left Fanatics, so you could see oh, okay, cool, this auto hasn't been altered, and this is the patch that it left Fanatics with. I don't know that they'll do that. You would assume that they would. Like a Bored Ape NFT? Yeah, I don't know. So, but I thought that was interesting for super high end stuff. And then my speculation was the tinfoil hat brigade, if they start microchipping cards, it's do they know then exactly where every single card is currently located in the world?
Yeah, the one thing that he said that I thought was really interesting, because he also, and kind of going back a little bit to the loaded box thing, Bill Simmons was asking him about breaking, and he was big time breaking. I mean, he was very pro breaking. It's very important to the ecosystem and getting the cards out into the universe and that sort of thing. And he said also good for marketing. So I thought that, like, when he said it's good for marketing, now what he probably meant was just like all the market, like breaks are on YouTube and breaks are on IG or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's
someone hits something big. It's a viral TikTok. It's a viral IG reel. It's viral on Twitter.
But when he says breaking for marketing, you can kind of take, it gets the wheels turning, and it's like, well, what else are you doing for marketing? On the breaking side, that kind of it plays into that conspiracy theory. I don't mind that conspiracy theory. The loaded box one, I know people will get all worked up about it, like, oh, that's stupid. But the fact is you do see a lot of these celebrities opening up cards of themselves or opening up huge hits. It's weird that a person would open a box and get their card out of it. And we've seen that, a handful of different times in the last 12 months. It just seems really odd. Now, unless they opened, again, like, I wish they would just say, like, hey, we opened 2 cases and this is the video we took from it of them,
Right.
we took the 3 minutes of them opening that. That would make a lot more sense, but there's no context to any of it. So
yeah. The other interesting thing he said when he was talking about breakers, and I don't know, he might have just been pulling this number off the cuff. I don't know. But he said essentially one breaker could open 15% of the product run.
Kind of like
was a number that he threw out there. So that's a ton of the product run if one breaker, I don't know. I guess on a high-end product, I could see that, like Flawless, for example, that's a Panini product, but it's so expensive. It wouldn't surprise me if you told me Leighton opened 15% of all Flawless. Because how many other people are opening Flawless?
Well, and think of that too. If you're a manufacturer and it's $5,000 to $10,000 a box, Mark Wahlberg's only going to buy so many of those, or whoever, that can afford that. And so you really probably, especially for high end, you want breakers involved on the high end to get that stuff moving and to get it sold. Because I'm sure that, it's not going to sustain at $5,000-$10,000 a box if breakers are not buying it. It just, and then, selling spots and breaking it. I just don't see that price point holding up. But anyway,
I see chat talking about the serial numbers on the kabooms, and I agree, but we got to keep in mind that was Panini, not Topps.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Steve, is there anything that you want to throw in?
Going into the microchipping thing, how would they determine what is considered to be a big card?
I think they would do it for example, he specifically mentioned the 101 MLB debut patches. Every single one of those cards would have it in it. It's not going to be every card numbered to 10 or less. It's probably going to be held specifically for 101 relic cards or something like that.
Right. But I get a 1/1 of a bum isn't necessarily a good card. So I was just wondering, I mean, are they getting this from some sort of market value or what they think
I think it
going to be worth?
I mean, my guess is it would be checklist wide. So every 1/1 MLB debut patch gets one no matter what. Because someone could be a bum today, but 10 years from now they might not be. You never know.
Right. And someone could be really highly pumped and overpriced today and then be a bum in 10 years. So it works both ways. That's why I just raised that question. I'd say they just will basically chip everything just to cover all their bases, I guess. And then also to the Dustin's point of when you talk about loaded boxes going to the big time breakers or celebrities, whatever you want to call them, popular people in the hobby. It would be interesting to see how many boxes they break that are bad. Because the way that it's portrayed is you see them pull the big cards, but you don't see them pull cards that are open cut cases and boxes that are really bad. You just don't see that much unless you sit through an entire break yourself. Because they're only going to show you the highlights, especially if they're trying to sell you into a break, right? They want you to think that break with them, we're lucky, right? And then some people think Fanatics or Panini is going to push the good boxes to the high-end breakers. That's who's spending the most money. That's who they're getting more eyes on their product through. But then again, if you want to tell yourself that, that's what you're going to believe. If you want to tell yourself that it's just by chance, that's what you're going to believe. I'm going to relate this really quickly to a casino thing, and I'll be done. On the dice table, has the most superstitious players in the casino play craps. And there's a 1 in 6 chance that a 7 is going to roll on every roll. And people will turn their bets off when we have a dealer change, because they'll say every time they change the dealers, the dice 7 out. Or they'll say every time the dice hit someone's hands, they 7 out. And when it happens, they notice it and they bring it up every time. It happens every time. But when it doesn't happen, when it hits someone's hands and it rolls a winner, or when we change dealers and it rolls a winner,
yeah,
they don't say anything. Right? So it's the superstition and seeing what they want to believe, and in that moment it happening. But in the realistics of it all, it's a 1 in 6 chance that it's happening. So that's just a thought, and it's not even necessarily going to be like me saying, hey, I believe that the breakers are not getting loaded boxes, because it does seem to be too much than coincidence. But then again, that's just another perspective to put on it, because you don't know how many times that their cases or their boxes are busts.
Yeah, I mean, think back, was it a year ago or 2 years ago where Blaise Breaks, the older brother with his shirt off, did like the biggest break of all time? You remember when they advertised that? And it was like $1 million of flawless or something, like it was something crazy.
When they were chasing the logo, man.
Yeah, but it was like 4 or 5 hours, and they had like the girls on there that were opening the boxes, you know, or whatever, like grabbing the boxes for them. But they got massacred on that break. Like that was supposed to be kind of like this big, you know, this big break. And yeah, they got good cards out of it, but for the amount of money they spent, it was bad. You know, I mean, like it was not getting your money back. So, but that stuff probably isn't highlighted enough. And that's probably the problem too, when you're flashing up a 30-second IG reel, you know, where you're trying to show excitement, you know, around marketing. You're probably not going to, you know, I wish they'd maybe just put a line in like after 10 boxes or something. I don't know. Like they have to add something in there to make it seem a little like not as weird, you know, when the athlete opens a card of themselves. It's like,
yeah. And it kind of goes hand in hand with flipping and people doing content around flipping.
Right.
And showing their wins, showing, oh, I bought this for X amount of dollars and I profited this much percentage off of it. You see a majority more of those videos than you see losses. Now, you know that people are taking losses. You don't need them to tell you to do it, but it's because that's the content that people typically want to see, is the success stories. So that's the content that is like put out there, and you know, you can relate it right in to someone doing a break, because a break is content these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not going away. According to Michael Rubin, it is not going away anytime soon. If anything, it's going to be, it's just going to get bigger.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how, like, you know, we grew up on the Home Shopping Network, and it's just kind of completely back now. Like between TikTok, whatnot, eBay Live, Fanatics Live, like the amount of money transacting on basically Home Shopping Network.
Could you imagine Don West? Could you imagine Don West on Whatnot? You know,
oh my God, that'd be like pay-per-view. I'd pay to watch that.
He would crush it. He would absolutely crush it on there. Oh my God. I would love to see Don West again. I still watch his stuff from 30 years ago.
I mean, like all three of us are very active in cards. Have any of you guys ever like really spent time shopping on a live stream app? I haven't, more than like 5 minutes.
Not a lot
to see what it's all about.
Yeah, same.
Steve, have you done like a Whatnot buying spree, or like sat in a room and like watched, like, you know what I mean?
I bought one card off of Whatnot, and I mean, this was before last year's national. It might have been before the national before that. I mean, it was pretty fresh. You know, it hadn't been going on very long. Yeah, probably 2 years ago, maybe coming right out of the first Chicago National. I think I bought a card off of Whatnot auction.
I guess we're just not the target demographic for it. Like, I just don't have time. I do not have time to sit there and be like, let me watch this 3-hour-long stream and hope a card I want comes up.
Right. I mean, everything went good with it. I just don't use the platform myself. My one purchasing experience was good. I got a good price on a card that I liked, and I got it in a reasonable amount of time. And I've moved on from the card for a long time since I've had it as well. I sold that card. Okay. I sold that card in Atlanta 2 years ago. So that goes to show you how long ago it was that I bought it. Not Culture Collision last year, but Culture Collision the year before. It was a 2017 Optic Hollow of Jason Tatum, PSA 10 I sold.
That's a cool card.
Zach in chat says he wouldn't be sad if breaks totally went away. I can tell you right now, they're not going anywhere unless the government says they are. Other than that, you're only going to see way more of them.
Yeah, it's weird how that part of the hobby, like 30 years ago, obviously there was none of that. That's something that's dramatically changed over the last 10 years. It's wild. But it's like completely taken over. And now, you know, the RePack, RePacks might be just as big as breaks at some point.
Yeah.
A lot of RePacks.
The other interesting part of that interview, like of a more overarching thing, the Ruben thing was, and I talked about this in the video that I did, the power that he has that we have never seen before in the sports space. Like he talked about the MLB debut patches, and essentially Topps was like, this will never happen. And Ruben was basically like, watch me, and called Tony Clark, the head of the MLBPA, and then hung up from him and called Rob Manfred, the commissioner of MLB, and it was done. Like, no one at Panini Upper Deck or Topps has ever had, or really any company in the space has had, like, oh, let me just direct dial the commissioner of Major League Baseball and tell him this is what we're doing, sign off on it.
Yeah. I mean, is there a more powerful person in all of sports?
Probably not, because he has tons of player relationships and owner and commissioner and celebrities like that aren't even in sports.
And he pretty much rules apparel, you know, and now of course everything else. But I mean, apparel is a big part of the league's, you know, revenue. I mean, it's all the jerseys and the shirts and I mean, the tickets are one thing, the beer at the stadium and all that, but I mean, the apparel is it's so weird to think that this one guy is now, I mean, in control of that, but then also our dinky little, you know, the dinky little sports card hobby got wrapped up into all of that stuff.
He talked I didn't cover this in the video, but at the very beginning of the interview, when they were just kind of talking about Fanatics in general, he was kind of like laying out the future, essentially. Like, you'll watch sports and you'll have like a Fanatics companion app running that you'll be able to bet on the game, buy cards, trade cards. Essentially, it'll pop up. Like, if you see like the coach wearing a cool hoodie on the sideline, it'll pop up in the app and be like, do you want to buy that sideline gear? Like, I mean, he laid it out like what he essentially wants the Fanatics future to be.
He did a tour. Did you see on IG? He did a tour of a guy's house. This guy lives in a mansion, and he has collectibles all over his house. It would basically be my house if I had $1 zillion and no wife, no family, because it's like from head to toe, like like the entire house is just like sports memorabilia and all this other stuff. And Ruben said when he walked in, he said everybody's house should look like this. So in his mind, he's thinking like everybody should be collecting this stuff.
Well, I think Simmons did the interview at Ruben's house because he was talking about walking around and seeing all his collectibles.
Yeah.
Like, I guess Ruben PC's like the guy, like Harden and Embiid and stuff, like the guys that he knows really well.
Yeah.
He buys cards of theirs.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. He probably is, though, realistically, the most powerful person in sports. I don't think it's really close, to be honest. He's with every league, too. That's the thing. It's not just like he's like solely focused on the NBA. Like, he's literally in everything, including like WWE now and God knows what else.
Steve, you got something? You look like you're about to say something.
No, I was laughing because somebody said they were going to start a GoFundMe to get some razors. My boy Jordan Hudson said that. But look, man, if I didn't have razors, I wouldn't have this fresh chin strap. You see what I'm saying? I got a blade down to here.
I like the facial hair. Yeah, I'm digging the facial hair, Steve. You need to do that. You look like
Steiner brother or something.
Yeah, you look like Wolverine.
Oh, I need some headgear now.
You're like Wolverine mixed with Wayne. Like.
Well, see, you need a Wayne's World hat would match your Gem Rate shirt, or your SGC hat would match your Gem Rate hoodie. Man, you could be representing all kinds of people at once right now.
Like a NASCAR driver, get a COMC patch, an eBay patch on there.
The Dale Earnhardt hat.
Speaking of, it's a perfect segue into this quick question here. We have about as much information as everybody else on this. The eBay buying into COMC. Neo and I think we both have calls with COMC tomorrow to get a little bit more information on it. But it's all like, I mean, basically the reaction I've heard is exciting, growth, advancements. COMC and eBay already work in tandem. If you use both of these platforms, you see COMC auctions on eBay and so forth. So I don't see any sort of negatives on the surface. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I'm excited for really both, especially COMC.
Can you jump to that Chris C comment down towards the bottom? Fanatics, like just scroll to the bottom. 928.
928. Fanatics will overprint and make 80s junk wax a new companion. Boom.
So I have a question on this. I've been thinking about this all day because I don't know if you guys watched Scotty B or not. He did a really good video on Topps Chrome and like how many parallels and stuff they have now. I don't know, like, and I don't have the magic bullet for this. Like, Fanatics obviously wants to increase the number of people that are buying sports cards, and they have. I mean, there's way more people buying sports cards today than there ever has been. How do you do that? Because you have to increase the print run. Like, you have to print more Topps Chrome because there's more people buying Topps Chrome. But on the flip side, how the hell do they accomplish that without completely watering it down and making 500 different versions of a Corbin Carroll rookie card? Like, I don't know how you thread that needle. And you know what I mean? Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't have Fanatics wanting to bring a bunch of people in and have the hobby explode and also have like Topps Chrome not have a huge print run. Like, I don't know how you figure that out. I really don't.
I think they're going to do what they've been doing. I think it's going to be kind of that Panini model where it's like we're printing a hell of a lot more of it, but we still have gold out of 10, and we might have a gold shimmer out of 10. But you still have kind of those lower serial numbered chases, the black finite 1 of 1 or whatever, or the case hit insert,
but
kaboom or whatever the hell.
You just keep the chases limited, but you still print more product. It makes it actually makes it more hard to hit a chase card because you buy
way more base cards, way more of all the regular stuff.
I mean, it makes it for a watered down product.
That's the problem though.
Right. So how much? So, I mean, I would think you would have to, if you're getting less quality or you're getting more quantity than your quality, which is the case anyway, but even more so, you would think you would have to lower the prices because people aren't going to want to buy when the shot to hit something really good at your odds, your odds decrease, right?
I mean, obviously, Drew Brees cards are going to be extremely limited in every set. They're going to make sure that the Brees stuff is.
Just say, for instance, they go from an autograph card per box, right? Say we have an autograph card per box, but we need to print more product because it's in more demand, but we don't want to water it down. So let's do an autograph every 2 boxes. So now we're doing double the print run, but we're still only putting out the 1 hit card. You get what I'm saying? So now, as a consumer who wants to buy a product, if the price isn't like right or cheap, if I'm not guaranteed to get some sort of return out of my box, whether it's 10% back out of my money, whatever it is, I wouldn't want to play it all. I wouldn't want to stick money in a slot machine if I didn't know I had a chance of getting something. Right. And there has to be some sort of offer on a slot machine by lottery restrictions on a return. Now, the return may not go to you, but you know that the chance there is. And if you were to cut that percentage chance in half, you would probably play it less. Kind of relate to buying. I would rather for someone else to spend their money on the wax and sell me the singles.
Yeah, because to your point, it's getting watered down. Like if they water it down more and more, the problem is that the wax keeps getting more expensive. So it's like, it becomes less and less of a value proposition. And then, like, if you want to really spin this thing forward, let's say, okay, I don't want to completely butcher Scotty's video, but like I think he said there was literally like 500 different parallels of Corbin Carroll's Topps Chrome rookie card or something crazy like that. Assume Corbin Carroll goes on to become Babe Ruth 2.0. He's the greatest baseball player ever to play the game. And in 30 years from now, with that many different versions of his card, are any of them actually going to be worth anything?
No.
Even to your point, Dustin, you were talking about like, oh yeah, there'll be a gold out of 10 or a thing out of 5. But when you have 25 different sets and they all have a gold out of 10 and a thingamajigger out of 5,
What would
eventually
you
that all just gets so watered down.
What would you rather have? Okay, what would you rather have? 30 sets for basketball or 5 sets where they just print more? I think the way they could solve this is just print the absolute hell out of retail and then keep hobby. So like kind of like in 1990 when you could walk into a Kmart and there was always baseball cards, always, never sold out ever. That should be what retail looks like.
Sure, but the problem is that most wax, honestly, is getting ripped from breakers, and breakers aren't going to be ripping retail. If you want to fill break slots, you're not filling it selling blaster boxes.
No, but what I'm saying is yeah, but all the regular folks that don't want to bother with breaks, everyone's always like, what about the kids? What about the the youth and this and that? Have some chase cards in the retail though. So it's very diluted. It's very diluted, but you've got every time you've got some big chase cards that can be pulled out of it. Isn't the MLB debut card? Isn't that in like a fairly cheap product?
You can get it from the blaster boxes, but it's like nearly impossible to hit.
Okay, but that's what because what you're saying is exactly right. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't you've got to print it, you got to sell it, but you got to have the people. So it's like you got to. I feel like you have to fragment it.
Yeah, it's just tricky. I don't know how you pull it off without completely watering everything down and making it that there's like a billion of these things. And then like
how many sets? People always say like, oh, well, how many numbered out of 10s, how many numbered out of 25s. But if I'm looking at all the Panini products, like I'm not buying Flux. I'm not going to buy, Crown Royale or, whatever. Like there's certain sets I'm just not going to bother with. They've got plenty of serial numbered cards. I'm focused in on 5 sets. So would I rather just have 5 sets that they go to every time as opposed to like bringing out 25 different sets that nobody wants?
I just think it's going to be very interesting, like 15 years from now, to look back to like 2023 product, and someone out of all 3 sports is going to be really good from this. We don't know who it's going to be yet. We have no idea, but someone, odds are, is going to be a really good product or a really good player from this era. What of their cards are the ones that people actually want? Like, are the parallels so watered down that they go to inserts like we did in the 90s? Like, that stuff got watered down, and then everyone was like, oh wait, rare inserts, I want those. Well, is it going to be on card autos, or is it going to be game use stuff or color match? Or
why can't they just, okay, we're printing the hell out of retail, but we've got these specific inserts. It's like a Kaboom type insert thing, kind of like what they do where they've got different chase cards.
You just have an example.
You got to have the chase card in the cheap product. You've got, even if it's heavily diluted, because what you want is the 13-year-old to pull it out of a pack and put it on IG that he bought a $5 pack and got a 6-figure card out of it.
We're talking about Shaq here, right? That's what you can relate this to. 92 junk wax.
No, but he didn't have it. Well, okay, but if you had,
and he's gone on to be one of the best top 10 players.
Yeah, but they weren't making like 67 different parallels.
But you didn't have chase. You didn't have a big money chase.
But what I'm saying is people have fallen into chasing his beam teams because that is the insert that was rare. That's his card that holds money, right? So it may not be on the same level from a monetary standpoint, but it's the same sort of like example. Like there's Fleer, there's Tops, there's Upper Deck, there's Fleer Ultra, there's Tops Chrome. There's a bunch of different products all printed into the ground in 1992. Biggest basketball star to come along, and one of the biggest players to ever at the end of his career. This is kind of who we're talking about now. And the USA is somebody in 20 years from now, from 2023. Well, from 1992 right now, it's Shaq. He's a victim of the junk wax era. And the cards that tend to hold value are like the rare beam team inserts.
But imagine if they had the equivalent of a gold out of 10 or something that was distributed in those packs, and 92 Flair Ultra. I was buying boxes of 92.
Okay, so say you put out 10 golds, say you put out 10 gold shimmers, say you put out 100 reds, say you put out 100 blues. There's still enough demand in Shaquille O'Neal's market for the demographic of buyer who's not going to be able to afford those serial numbered cards, that there's going to be some sort of card that's adopted as, okay, this is a good rookie card to have with a good value because this is what people can afford.
Yeah.
So that's kind of along the same lines. We don't know what it's going to be again. Like Neo said, it's going to be interesting to see, but something will establish that will be adopted as, I guess, flagship would be the term to use, adopted as the flagship rookie card, because that's going to be the one that a majority people can afford. Because when you get up into the serial numbered high end stuff, there's only a certain amount of people that can even play in that type of market.
It almost feels like flagship now is like a base refractor or a silver prism. Like, I know some of that stuff's still expensive, but like as we go on, as time progresses, that stuff, as all these parallels get more and more watered down, it almost feels like a silver PSA 10 of someone is almost going to be like their base card.
Right, and that's how it's getting watered down like that. But if you look at 2018's Prism football, the silvers are really rare.
Well,
then
that's
you get into 19. When you get into 19, and once you get into 19 and you get into 20, what's an outlier because the stuff was more of a limited print. We hadn't hit 20.
Well, no, the distribution was different. You only got one silver per box in 2018. Like the way that they distributed the product was entirely different in regards to pack odds. That's why
I would be willing to say that 2021, 2022 Prism has probably got 10 times the print run on base cards that 2018 had.
Oh, for
printing
sure.
Printing in general. So
really, 2019 is when it got crazy because they purposely, even though the hobby hadn't gone completely nutso yet, they knew that they had Zion and Ja. So,
right. If you look at Patrick Mahomes and you look at LeBron James and you say, like right now, we're living in the market that you're talking about. We're already living in it with some players that are high end that are going to go down as all-time greats. Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, and their base cards have lost value, but they're only going to fall. A Topps Chrome PSA 10 Topps Chrome LeBron is only going to fall to a certain price. Because once you start talking RPAs and autographs and refractors and things like that, there's just not enough people that can afford them, but there's enough people that do want a player like LeBron James or Patrick Mahomes to have their rookie card to sustain a flagship card. Because there will be the demand on those players. It's like a Jordan Fleer, that thing's printed into the ground. People still buy them in PSA 2s and 3s because they got to have a Jordan rookie card because they want one and they have to buy the grade that they can afford.
Right. Yeah. Well, you're talking about for all-time great players.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I was kind of along the, Neo was kind of talking about somebody from one of the sports 20 years from now will be, he mentioned Babe Ruth. In fact, maybe we have a Babe Ruth 2.0 or something. So if we did have a player of that magnitude, they would draw enough demand on lower end products to keep some sort of value on them.
Well, and what's kind of fun about those, and I'm not a baseball card collector, but the MLB debut patch, there will be a year where there's a scrub that somebody was like, oh, I got this, whoever, and then it turns out to be the next Mike Trout or whatever. That will happen, like it always does. Like how it happened with Giannis, going back where it was like, who is this Giannis guy? It's going to happen like that.
Giannis.
So yeah.
I had saw someone made a comment. I think it was Vintage Card Collector. It said, screw modern, just buy vintage. But for the sake of that argument, we're talking about people who want to bust a wax. If you can point me in the direction of a case of 1952 Topps that I can afford,
where did you see that?
I'll buy and bust all those packs that I can.
You'll never find it, Dustin. You missed a billion.
When you're talking about vintage, like we're just talking about wax right now, which I understand. If you want to buy singles right now, vintage probably is,
I don't know. I made a
yeah, I saw your vintage is printed. Vintage is not rare.
Chad has been flying this entire time we were talking.
To that argument that we were talking about right now, like vintage still sustains value of players that are really good in low grades, even if they were to take a 50% hit right now on all of them, there would be still some sort of value around them because you're talking about demand for cards of all-time greats. Now there's not as many. Typically one of them have like one rookie card. So
yeah, but that's just more of an argument over a proven player versus like a guy that's playing that hasn't proven himself yet. That's always going to be the case. In 30 years, when people are talking about 2020, they'll be talking about whoever, Tom Brady or Drew Brees, vintage card, compared to today's modern Arch Manning Jr., or whatever. But anyway, Mike Petty has bought into some gold atomic wave cracked ice Kabumi parallel. So good for him. props.
And a lot of stuff is really flavor of the week. I was scrolling Instagram today and I saw my slabs. You know, they put up current slabs that just hit for sale or whatever. And side by side on the first was a PSA 10 Mosaic White Sparkle CJ Stroud. And the next card next to it was a PSA 10 White Sparkle Tua Tagovailoa, both rookie cards from their respective seasons, and both the same parallel, both the same brand, the same grade, identical card, basically different years, different players. The CJ Stroud had a $6,000 price tag, and the Tua had like a $1,200 or $1,300 price tag. And I'm just like, it's flavor of the month, right?
Yeah.
Stroud's playing great football. Tua's playing good football. The Dolphins are playing good football. Houston's are surprising, but it's just the new guy on the block right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Star Wars cards breaking records, the vintage stuff going back to 1977.
Oh, nice. Where's that at?
On Heritage, 78,000 for a Luke, 49,000 for a Vader, and a 10. Yeah, the vintage stuff in a 10 is holding up strong. Ziggy's excited about breaks. There won't be any shortage of those moving forward. Topps Bowman offers the most from a blaster standpoint. Panini has eliminated most low number of possibilities at the retail level. Yeah, I think that's kind of like when you're buying it, and now blasters are just getting more expensive. And like, it's like, what's the best case scenario? And when you look at that, it's like, what am I actually buying this for? When the best case is really crappy.
I mean, that feeds into the other topic that we really haven't talked about was the RePack stuff. Like the fact the manufacturer stuff is so bad that it's like, oh, I guess I'll rip this RePack instead because it's a feel better.
Yeah, it's like causing the rise of RePack. It's like, oh, well, if I'm going to get blown away on this break or in this product, I may as well go with Blez's RePacks or the new off-centered RePack that Steve's putting together. I'm really excited to see how he finalizes it. It will be a high-end RePack product.
I get back to you guys on that.
Someone in chat had it perfect. Just buy out someone else's RePack and then just mark it up and resell it as your own RePack.
We brought in Justin Gamble as a consultant on this with Steve, so we are all set, guys. It's going to be incredible.
Man, we have to start a Discord first. You're jumping the gun. All right, we got to go Discord then RePack.
It's $37 a month.
Maybe we could sell them on eBay and we can have an influencer mega bid them and then we'll be good because it'll inflate the value.
Man,
Megatron
coming in hot. Voltron, Transform, Decepticon bid. Let's set up a live stream. Decepticon bids on
Decepticon bid faked you out.
So I want to see like Steve live stream from the beach where he's spent all the RePack money on a beach house somewhere.
Oh man,
Decepticon not a mega bit anymore. Decepticon bid.
I'd be like Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption. I'd be in San Juan. Nobody will find me.
Bob Boozle's got it right. Don't buy common underwear, Hanes boxers, but they're overprinted. Fair enough, man. Go with the rare stuff. Go for scarcity.
Steve, when you come to the National next year, you could go tour the prison. Shawshank's only an hour away from Cleveland.
Oh, sounds fun.
Where it was filmed. That's a cool tour. I did it a couple of years ago.
Think they'll let me use the gym.
Drew Brees sacrificed his right.
Oh, I love the movie.
To play football. Do you see? I'm sure you guys saw this, but Drew Brees cannot throw football with his right hand. He has to throw lefty now because his arm is completely shot.
Yeah, I was hoping the Browns would sign him when they lost all their other quarterbacks.
That's a man that gave everything to the league, and we need to respect it. And I think the hobby is going to finally when he's got his like bionic arms, and he looks like Dr. Octopus out there doing media cards. It's gonna be glorious. No, I'm kidding. Breeze is never gonna be in this for whatever reason. Look, Peyton Manning won his second Super Bowl because of Von Miller and the defense. The guy threw like 14 passes all year. I think he played half the season. So I know we build up Peyton Manning, this and that and the other. I'm trying to start a firestorm here in the chat, but Breeze.
He wants to know if you're promoting gambling and addiction, Dustin.
Where is that?
I think I promote gambling every time I talk about work. Hey, I work in a casino. There's nothing wrong with gambling.
Yeah, Steve is the expert on that. I don't have
Just
any
be smart.
insight.
Just
I
be
don't
smart.
have any insights.
Make wise decisions.
Oh man. All right, what are we getting at next, fellas? Oh,
People are
We
loving
got
the Decepticon
we
bit.
got a Stranger Things comment here. First Bum and Chrome. What's going on? Can't wait
How
for
much did you
season
pay?
5. Absolutely. They just started filming it. I think that's what I heard. We're on the way.
Did you guys get any collectible Black Friday deals? Did you guys pull the trigger on anything?
I did not.
I did not.
Oh, I bought wax. That was it.
So the Stranger Things, the season 4 cards, the hobby boxes are only like $120, $130. They went on sale for $89. And so I was actually thinking about grabbing a couple, but I've not yet.
This is my cards that I bought this last couple weeks. Nobody has seen. It's been a secret. I don't want to pump anything. But I'm buying cards, contrary to what people may believe. And Atlanta's going to be great.
Atlanta is going to be fun. We've got hotels booked. We're ready. Nia, are you coming to Atlanta?
I don't know. I was reading Dan the Card Man's comment that you'll see in an hour. Tip to get Dustin to read your comment in real time. Put Stranger Things in to start.
Yeah. If you just put Stranger Things in, I'll catch that immediately.
Or money. A super chat will bump you to the top.
That also works fairly well too.
Rob in chat says Blowout had some great deals on Black Friday. I heard that they did too. I don't know what they were, but that's one that I heard had some good deals.
They definitely had better deals than well, DNA had really good deal. I'm not gonna. I say I'm not gonna open it. I'm probably gonna end up opening. They had Marvel Masterpiece boxes for like $650, which is like $300 off. So I grabbed one of those.
Man, you have got sucked in on those. The Marvel.
I did really well on them, so I can't complain. Like I opened. What did I open?
That's famous last words.
No, I opened 5 boxes of them, and I am well ahead on what I paid for those 5 boxes. I mean, I sold a single Spider-Man card for like $2,000 out of that.
You got the one Spider-Man card that paid for it.
Oh, and I had an auto that was sold for almost $1,000.
Yeah, Neo, you only got that Spider-Man card because you're an influencer. They knew you were going to break it on your channel.
Let's circle back to the loaded boxes convo that we were having earlier.
Why did they load my Topps Chrome boxes that I had to work my ass off of just to break even?
I wish they would load my boxes.
It was weird. On the side of Rob's boxes, it said for Neo, red Spider-Man, number to 25. I don't know how that happened. It was weird. And then he opened the box, and that card was in there. It was weird.
It was a pink. Those are numbered to 25, not reds.
Oh, well, whatever.
So maybe we could ask chat what we should do with our what should we say, fantasy football team. That
I thought you were going to say RePack product. Okay.
No. We know what they want to buy our RePack product.
Guys, Steve is going to unleash.
Too bad.
Product of all RePack products,
but it's never going to be for sale. It's never going to be for sale. But
Steve's gonna pull a Blez where he's like, "Nah, I'm not doing it." Then Friday, all of a sudden, he's gonna bust out with a video that's like, "I hate repacks, but I've got a Friday special. I've got a Friday sale." All right, go ahead with the fantasy football. I'm gonna get more coffee.
So the fantasy football here. Let's open it. I'm gonna open up on my phone here. Give everybody a really quick rundown of how we sit. And guys, we're in a little. What's the word? Conundrum. We're in a pickle. We have an issue here. So we have to touch on Sports Card Therapist really quickly about ghosting everyone, including us. All right. So we have the Fantasy Football League, which has 12 content creators in it. And it's all the proceeds are going to send someone to the National in Cleveland in 2024. So that money, the $1,200 made from that league goes towards the trip. Sports Card Therapist was one of the members in this Fantasy Football League. And with the whole shield bidding thing that happened with him, all of his socials are gone. You guys have been aware. If you haven't been made aware, you haven't been watching any content because everybody was talking about it. Also, his fantasy football team has been abandoned. Problem is, his team is probably going to make the playoffs. So I need you guys to help me figure out a way. Do I just basically do I just cut his team from playoffs and put the next best team in.
I think it makes the most sense for me to just slide into his spot.
Yeah, because you were one of the only teams that's officially been eliminated with an E by your name, aren't you?
You didn't have to say that on the live stream, Steve. I'm still trying to cope. Literally half my team got
You
hurt.
can play spoiler.
My starting quarterback is Joe Burrow, and my starting running back is Nick Chubb. That's how the season's been.
Remember how you could have drafted Josh Allen instead of Joe Burrow?
Yeah. Well, Josh Allen hasn't even been that. I mean, hasn't been very good either. You're only
you realize he's the number 1 ranked scoring quarterback in the league, right?
The only guys I beat this year in fantasy football are you and Steve. And
mine was a mercy win.
Yeah, Josh Allen is literally the highest scoring quarterback in the league. He's the number 1 ranked quarterback in the league.
Yeah, so Dustin, you're down here at 4-8. You have an E by your name. I had to look up
eliminated.
What that meant. Yeah, I had to look up what that meant because I've never had one of those before.
I lost a sports card therapist by 5 points. I lost to stupid Dakota sports card anonymous by like 2 points. It was like, give me a break. And then
you got mega bid on.
I got mega bid by Sports Card Anonymous.
So actually, Sitting Ducks, it was Jay in the chat right now who talks more smack than anybody. If you guys thought that I talk smack, he's just not doing it on the platform. He talks more smack in Instagram chat than all of us combined have talked, even with my bad company video.
Yeah, he does come in hot with the trash talk.
Oh, winning's getting boring. He's 11-1, guys. And the one blemish on his record is me, by the way. So he doesn't talk trash to me because I just say, hey, why don't we talk about week 7? And he kind of leaves the room on that one.
The problem is he's setting himself up for like a first round loss. You know, like he's going to get the bye and then like the divisional, he'll get smoked.
But second place right now is Therapist at 8-4, tied with me at 8-4. I do have the win over Therapist. And then Neo's at 7-5. Hambino's at 7-5. That's Michael Ham. Tebow knows as Jeff Wilson is in at 6-6, guys. Jeff Wilson is sitting at 500.
I played Jeff Wilson this week.
Sports Cards Anonymous is 6-6. Ziggy is 6-6. Sports Card Lessons is now 4-8, but he's won 4 in a row.
I don't even think he's adjusted his lineup either.
Chris Sewell, who is in that order, that's who I played this week. He's also 4-8. Chris Sewell is sports or baseball card collector, investor, dealer. In that order is the name of his team. So it's looking, Therapist is the number 2 seed right now. And it's like, that's a team that's been abandoned. So what do we do? Real
quick from the bench, this is exactly my point here is why are we doing all the other stuff? Why don't we just stick with Prism, Optic, and Tender Select? Like all the stuff you just mentioned there, to me, like that's fine. Like we don't need all the other stuff. So
anyway, I mean, you're not wrong, but everyone thinks that, so they have to print a ton of it because everyone's buying that.
Well, what ends up happening is the distributors have it, or like the hobby shops got to buy the Flux because they have to buy that so they can get the Prism or whatever the hell.
But make one of them hobby exclusive. Remember when Select was hobby exclusive and everybody liked it?
Yeah,
it would be. I really wish Fanatics would roll out some type of Select level product. Of hey, this is like expensive but not ridiculously expensive, like an NT or Flawless. It's hobby only. It's got cool parallels. We're not going to print it to the moon.
Ooh, Orlando came in hot on you right here. Auditors need to review Neo's rips. I want Dan man needs to break down those videos each, like just minute by minute, to make sure that Rob's
just Marvel Masterpieces, because my freaking go watch my Topps Chrome rip that I did the other day, the $300 box that I got about $15 worth of cards out of.
Your best one was the 90MU, whatever the.
With the D&D cards in it.
Yeah. That was
box,
the best.
That box is sitting right there.
I actually thought when I first watched it, I was like, "There's no way this is real." You know, like he had to have known. But then I rewound it. I was like, "No, he actually didn't realize this was happening." That was funny. For those that don't know, that might be new to the channel or our channels, Neo, like 18 months ago, ripped open a box at 90 Marvel Universe Impel, and it did not have Marvel cards in it. It had Dungeons and Dragons cards in it. And but he didn't, like, he was on camera opening it, thinking it was a real box, and it was not.
And I didn't notice it right away because I was looking at chat talking, and then I had opened the box, and chat realized before I did, and then I looked down, and I was like, uh-oh. and that was like a $1,200 box.
Angling for the Michael Rubin sponsorship.
I didn't know that I was kissing Fanatics' ass. Interesting.
Glory days coming at you fast and hard. If FDC did RePack, it would probably all be Stranger Things comic cards. I paid $500 for this box of Stranger Things commons.
See, Dan gets it. You got to sneak a dud box in there every once in a while to throw him off the scent. That's the auditor in him. He already knows. He's got me figured out already. You'll see that in an hour.
Yeah, they get audited. Nobody at the manufacturer knows where the one and one they just printed individually. Okay. I don't know what this was for, Mike, but thank you. So yeah, Atlanta Culture Collision, possibly the grand opening of Jeff's store on the same weekend. We'll see how that pans out. But I'm excited for Atlanta. I haven't set up at a show since I was 12 at the flea market 30 years ago. So I'm sure it's going to go amazingly well. We'll get it on video. I'll probably get like cards stolen off of me or whatever, or something crazy happen. But
are you going to do the reverse negotiation tactic? If someone wants to deal on one of your cards, are you just going to stare at them while they throw numbers at you?
It's the stare. It's the stare.
The blank stare. Confused.
I didn't know if that was just like the shopper stare. I didn't know if he had a different tactic when he's behind the table.
I'm probably going to go with that same thing. I don't want to really show my cards on the live stream in case someone might come up, but yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
I'll be there to snap him out of it. Hopefully you have that Stranger Things stare going on.
I beat the hell out of
So
Ziggy.
Also Ham, we need to know because Ham talked about going to Atlanta also. So I would like to know where you stand on that there, Hambo.
I probably won't know till after Christmas, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Being good at fantasy football is just more about your guys not getting injured. Is a lot of it. It's a lot of what fantasy.
I think we knew it was going to go this way when you just drafted every Saint player after like the third round.
You drafted Joe Burrow when Josh Allen was on the board.
We knew then too.
It doesn't matter. Injuries don't matter there. It just matters that you did the worst player.
I just had a feeling about
even before he got hurt, he was playing like booty.
I just had a feeling. I was going with a feeling. You're right. Maybe I missed that pick, but Alvin Kamara's been a good one. They throw it to him 40 times. They give it to him 40 times a game.
Yeah, but you didn't have him for 4 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Did you go 0-3 in those 3 weeks?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you probably did.
Zach says if Dustin keeps track of cards like you do comments, you'll be going home early with no cards or money.
Wait, where's that one?
You'll see it in an hour.
All right. Dustin, go get Flacco. Yeah, Flacco. Here, there you go. No, I've already got I'm down to Josh Dobbs for Minnesota as my starting quarterback. I've already gone through like 5 quarterbacks.
He's on a bye this week.
Well, I guess I'm down on Dobbs too. Yeah, I'm out.
Ziggy's saying he's going to win it all. He's saying he's coming back. He's 6-6, so he has a chance.
There's only 2 weeks left, right? This week and next week.
Yeah, before playoffs start weeks.
What do we determine? 6 teams make it?
I think so. 6, and the 2 top teams get a bye.
So really 7 though, because therapist.
Well, if we'll just probably whoever finishes 7th, we'll probably just bump up into that spot. And then if therapists finish 2nd, whoever is 3rd will bump up into the 2nd.
Do the top 2 seeds get a bye or something?
Top 2 seeds get a bye. Top 2 seeds get a bye.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So right now that would be what do you know? That would be Steve right now, of course.
Or you. Or you.
You should figure this out this week though. Post it in the league chat. You don't want to be figuring this out as it's happening.
No, I know.
Hobby Champs understands. 3 of us on the show trying to hold down a conversation. To be fair, when we were talking about the Fanatic stuff, there was like 700 comments that came through at the same time. So it just flies.
I was watching my screen go like this, and I'm like, we're done. We're dusting.
We also get a lot of comments that come in, and we've like kind of talked about the stuff, like people who've showed up to the live stream like late, and sometimes that's unfortunate. You'll think that we haven't talked about, like somebody was like, you guys should talk about something or another a minute ago. And I was like, we did talk about that in the beginning of the live stream.
Bob Boozle said sports card therapist will quit the league when he wins.
I watch him win, and then he just shows up, and then Rob shows up at the end. Other Rob, sports card therapist Rob, shows up at the end and is just like, screw you guys. I won. Sharing private
But he
sales.
no shows when he wins. That's his,
I don't know if Ziggy's talking about with like Market Movers or Card Ladder. I have reached out to Market Movers to see if they can add Stranger Things cards into the database. I was astounded to find that they did not have any.
What if you created a Stranger Things index for them?
We're working up to that. Let's work up to it.
All right. I look forward to the hit pieces to come your way once.
Yeah, then you just got to find dabs to come buy a big card off of you.
It's weird. All the Stranger Things index matches up with all your Instagram posts of Stranger Things cards.
It's crazy, but the top 50 Stranger Things cards are all for sale. I've got all of them. They're all for sale.
Just make sure that Sadie Sink first year PSA 10 gets in the index.
Yeah.
Hobby Champs, there's no winnings. Hobby Champ says if Rob wins Fantasy League, send his winnings to the underbidder on Manning. So maybe he was just trying to get a jab in there.
Yeah, there's no prize.
Yeah, there's no prize for us. All the money goes towards the national giveaway.
I thought you were doing like a ring or a trophy or a belt or something.
Oh yeah, there'll be like a prize for us. Like a
I'm telling you, you gotta get a championship belt.
I'm saying like a bragging's right prize to be able to.
Yeah, there's like they sell really cool championship belts. I feel like that's fitting.
Well, are you going to be at
nobody's retiring off super chat money, FYI.
You can hand it out at the national next year.
Yeah, you can present it to me at the national. I'll stand just like this. You can put the belt around my waist.
Oh, see, I told you get to it like 15, 20 minutes.
That's why I got to keep losing weight so I can buy a belt that's less expensive. The smaller the belt. So I keep losing weight so I can get that, that size 30, 32 belt.
Maybe next year, if we do the fantasy league, it could be an auction draft. There'll be tons of jokes we can make around that.
Yeah, auction drafts just take forever.
They do. They're way better. They
take a long time.
It's a much better format, but it takes forever.
Yeah, it's fun, but it takes forever.
Nobody got time for that.
Dustin, chat is more entertaining than you. But see, chat is part of the show, so that's the good part about it.
I just show up here and just scroll. It's great.
Hey,
it's not a bad gig. Ham needs to be a moderator. See, Orlando, you don't understand. I've already tried to pass off chat duty, and none of these guys want to do it. They don't want to handle chat. They want me to handle it. So we should have Orlando on here to handle chat.
Oh, that's a good idea from Ham. Get a custom card made for the creator for the championship of the winner.
I should get a card created for everybody that was in the league just to have and say, hey, and have our team picture. I did have Brendan Ryan did me some photos because I did those photos in my video. I can use those photos of you guys. We have gold Dustin already ready to be printed out. And that's going to be numbered to 10 because it's gold.
Yeah, Brendan Ryan is our illustrator. Shout out to Brendan.
Gold Dustin.
One of my old school home leagues, when you win, he makes up a plaque and he puts cards in it of all the key members of your team from the year. That's cool. One of your league prizes.
Well, looks like 89 score with the big helmet.
Yeah, this is from 2018, so it's probably a 2017 set.
Yeah,
it's just kind of a cool thing he does. He buys like one of these little plaques and puts the team name at the bottom, and then puts your.
Is that something that you won? You mean?
Yeah, the year that I won it.
Did you do defensive players or did you have the Bears?
No, he picks a player from like your defense that you started all year. So like I had the Bears that year, and that was the year Khalil Mack went like absolutely crazy.
Some people do some individual. Some people have individual defensive players, but that gets complicated.
It would be interesting to do something card related, either a custom card or.
Yeah, the only Dolphin I have on any of my fantasy teams, but I do think I have him on 3 teams, is Devon A-Chain, because I'm the only person that like drafted him really late in the draft. But I need him to get back on the field.
I think a fun league to do would be like the entry fee as a hobby box, and like the winner gets all the hobby boxes at the end of the year. But they have to rip them.
Well, it better be a Stranger Things hobby box for $90 because I'm not buying expensive hobby boxes.
Well, you have to put a cap on whatever it is. You have to put like $200 worth of wax or something, or $100 worth of wax, whatever it ends up being.
All right, fair enough.
You can meme that, Ben. Gets like some Hello Kitty boxes or something.
Oh my God! All right, what
Hobby Champs taking the call on Dalton Kincaid. I did draft Dalton Kincaid as secondary tight end. He was more of a secondary tight end draft for people if you wanted to hold 2 tight ends.
The Barry Sanders documentary. Yeah, I saw it. I watched it. I thought that it was really good. Barry Sanders is just such an understated guy. Even in that, it was kind of like, it was supposed to be like the big why behind what, why he retired. And it was kind of the same story. I mean, there wasn't really anything groundbreaking out of that, spoiler alert, but that show didn't give anything brand new that had not already been talked about. But I really did enjoy it though. Yeah, Barry Sanders is one of a kind. One of a kind, dude. All right, I'm caught up on chat. Man, that was easy. That was easy.
You did it, Dustin. Congratulations.
I nailed it. All right, guys, what else do we have on the docket? We've already logged an hour and 5 minutes. I feel like there was something else. There was another topic that we were going to hit on, and I can't think.
We hit mega bids. We hit repacks. We hit Ruben. We talked COMC eBay.
Yeah. So have you decided, are you going to come to Atlanta or are you going to skip it?
We literally just talked about this 10 minutes ago.
I was managing the chat. I was
chat knows, the comments. Chat knows and Steve knows, so I guess that's the important part.
So you're not coming.
That's not actually what I said.
Okay. All right. They're running low on hotels, just saying.
But we didn't get in the hotel that's actually at the show, though. Yeah, last time I went, I had to keep running across the 4-lane highway or whatever with my car.
No. We're at the one connected to the hotel. We're at the Renaissance.
Yeah,
okay. That's the one that's connected to the hotel.
I just got to get a place to stay Thursday.
Yeah,
or maybe you're 100% correct. Dustin did skip comments. He's finally learning. You don't have to read every comment.
I was going to say, Neo does the same. I mean, like that's how you have to do it.
You have to, as the host, or someone that's hosted a live stream before, you have to read every chat or every comment so your own head, so you know what's going on. But you don't have to display every comment and read it out loud.
I'm not going to say
when you guys talk in between each other.
I wasn't able to read all of them. Trying to talk to you guys, trying to think of like I wasn't able to read all of them, but I did my best.
Looking. There's a lot.
Jeff's virtual next week. I will be on that. I will be on the virtual as a guest. Looking forward to it. Never been on that show before. So,
who plays him in fantasy this week?
I do.
Yeah, if you win, you won't be on the virtual. You gotta let him get a win.
Yeah, Jeff invited me on because he beat me in fantasy. So he's like, yeah, I'll let him on. It's fine.
There you go. Rob says Neo's deciding after Christmas about Atlanta. Dustin, see,
he won't be there.
Paying attention.
This is like when I tell the kids maybe means no. He won't be there.
I went to Atlanta before. I had a good time.
Yeah, but you're not really jazzed about it. And then here's what's going to happen.
You went to Atlanta, and we were all excited to hang out with you, and you showed your face once for 5 minutes and then disappeared the rest of the weekend.
Oh yeah, Atlanta, you were MIA.
My family was taking over that show.
Yeah, missing all like, I'm so excited to hang out with you guys in Atlanta. It's going to be a great weekend. And me and Steve were like, this is going to be cool. And Dustin came by once and was like, hi, guys. And we're like, cool. Where'd Dustin go? And we didn't see him.
MIA. He was missing an aquarium.
Yeah,
that's missing an aquarium there in Atlanta.
The family,
whale sharks.
The family ruined that show for me. And lesson learned: none of them are coming this time.
Hey, I hope they don't watch this back.
What do you mean? I hope that they do watch it.
Just start ripping their stockings down behind you off the mantle there.
Yeah,
family ruined a Christmas.
They know that they ruined that show for me, and it's going to affect everything moving forward with holidays. No, yeah, I'm not bringing them to Atlanta. That was a lot. It was a lot to handle.
Jeremy, or Mike Petty's giving you some pro tips in chat.
Running up for Saturday. I live 2 hours south. Okay, cool.
Yeah. If you can't find our table in there, make sure you IG one of us so that we can tell you where we're at.
I paid up for a premium table, so hopefully Prism God takes care of us with extra. I don't know what that means, but
you don't get like an influencer table or something.
It's God. It's God. Huh? It's not Prism God. It's Prism God.
Oh, Prism God. There's a W in there.
God. Yeah.
God. Yeah.
And an A.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Seablez and I don't know. I assume Kenny and all those guys are going to be playing basketball. Happy to join in.
Hey, Mike. When they're the beef, this is like the rematch of Santiago Sports and Seablez.
I think they just announced today that they're doing a draft for that or something very soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really interested in that, but
I'd be happy to do six man off the bench, just raining threes on those guys.
Is that when you guys are launching the repack at Culture Collision?
That would be perfect. Oh wait, what do we call it, Steve? What about the upside down repack? The upside down.
Is that what it is?
The
Hey,
Stranger Things theme.
Not too bad. Not too
It's
bad.
a Stranger Things theme. The upside
We got to put
down
your, but it's for
Upside
your
down
cards, right?
when you open it, it's empty.
Your wallet, your bank account is upside down.
Yeah, Zach, you're right. Culture Club is in January. That's what we're talking. Culture Club. Culture Collision is in January, which is what we're talking about. Yeah, Culture Club. We got all the hottest Boy George cards.
Yeah, people are really going to be pissed if they pull out some Boy George cards.
Now, Bushliggers hit it on the nail on the head. Earlier, people were saying I look like the Steiner brothers and stuff like that. He says I look like Bull Harley from Over the Top. When I put this trucker hat on earlier and looked in the mirror, I was like, and I'm bald. I was like, man, I kind of look like the dude from Over the Top, the bad guy, Bull Harley. That's like, I thought that myself, but when I first put this trucker hat on.
Guest break for Jeff in his new store. Ziggy, I've never done it, so I'd probably screw it up. So
I would love to see Dustin, like the breaker version of Dustin.
You can do a box war, pack war.
I'm like, I don't know. And then I just dive in there like I've been doing it for 20 years.
What if
I would just love to see you try to be like hype man on a product.
What if they have Stranger Things wax?
Yeah, if they've got if a brand new Stranger Things set drops like that week or something, then yeah, I get worked up for that. That'd be fun. Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Bob Boozle is the man, by the way. I think everybody knows that, but I'll just state it out loud. The kids are getting 91 score for Christmas. That's the way. Hey, look, if you're worried about the cost of new product, there's plenty of 89 Pro Set football for you. Prism Gold.
Is that a such thing? Abel in Vegas says he graded the Stranger Things Secret Lair Magic the Gathering set, or is he just stringing a bunch of stuff together?
No,
he doesn't like any of that stuff.
No, I think that is true. I don't have any of the Magic stuff, but yeah, there is Stranger Things Magic stuff.
Oh, there is like Magic, like they did with
yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
It's not a full set release. It's just like one of their little side things that they do.
That seems kind of cool.
They do it for like a ton of stuff. The Secret Lairs.
I don't know, Chris, if it's going to be open when we're there in Atlanta. So he's targeting opening it. I've seen it this summer. I saw the place, but it might not be ready by the time the show is going on. So we'll have to see. Just photo you, they won't let. Yeah.
That question was like 40 minutes ago.
Wow.
But you got to catch back up now. Everybody's got comments in.
Dude, I'm 2 minutes behind.
Are you for real?
Man,
yeah, you're about 30 comments behind though.
There's a record number of people that want me to injure myself tonight. There's a record number of people in chat between like this, that, or whatever. And here we go with Spurs cards wanting me to tear an
You better get Affleck. You better get Affleck. So if you tear an Achilles on a live stream, you can still get paid.
Man, good thing the health insurance is good. My God. Jeez. Everybody.
I wonder if Kenny will be able to play. Isn't he recovering from a torn ACL?
I don't think it matters. Even if he's healthy, he can't play.
Oh.
Ooh.
Woo.
I've said this long ago. Remember when I was shouting out when I was on the beach? Remember when I was
making the mixtape.
Remember when I was on the beach doing the live stream and I was talking about, hey man, it's my court right here. You guys want to come on? And then I was in Florida. I had to go to them and they still dodged me.
You're so Delawarean.
Don't come to my home court. I went to Florida to their home court. Went to the park. It was like, hey, I'm here. Nobody, crickets. I had a better chance of sports card therapist showing up.
Because we haven't talked in 3 weeks. Did you guys actually book rooms for the Cleveland National yet?
Oh no, I'm not. Is it full?
I don't know. I don't have to look. I have my room booked.
He doesn't care. He's staying at home.
Hey, what I heard shows are dead in 2024. I'm not worried about it. Shows are dead. We'll find something, right? Right? Neo's.
Look, I have every right to go hard at sports card therapist because he should have at least let us know what was going on with the league.
That's a fair point. He could just say, "Hey, Steve, I'm out." Yeah,
that's it. That's all I need. I don't even need an excuse.
Have to con you.
Or
Okay, I just got to that comment with the Secret Lair Stranger Things thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It would be
I don't
slower
even see
than
that
round 2 as a breaker. It's a 4-hour break for me to open one box. People are like, what the hell, man? Like, let's just get on with
Every
it.
pack you're stopping to go get
So,
caught
like,
up on chat.
opening it up slowly.
Oh, yeah. Ziggy's got a comment about a content creator. I've been watching this content creator lately.
Who is it?
SCV.
There's not a more popular dude than SCV. I've been watching him too.
I think like his comment. I like how he's just
Glory Days,
straightforward.
man.
Doesn't care, you know.
Just bringing the mean tonight, Glory Days. Man, you must be a bundle of fun. Good Lord. You must be a bundle of fun. Can't afford junk wax hair to go back. Yeah, that's actually a pretty strong point, Hobby Champs. All right, what were you getting at, Steve? Hold on.
I was just saying, like, he's been like, of any new content that's been coming out lately, and a lot of my older content that I used to watch, I haven't been keeping up with. But he's I don't know. Every time I see one of his videos,
he throws me because I'll watch it thinking I know what he's going to say, and then he says something different. He's really good with that, but not like he's clickbaiting it, but
he just makes really good points. And even if I tend to
angle on it, yeah,
and even if I occasionally disagree with something, like I can still see his side of it. It's not like, oh no, he's wrong. The hell with that. I can see that's understandable. You know, he makes a good argument, and good points for everything that he wants to bring across, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. That's what I like about it.
No, the best part about his stuff is the fact that he says, like, hey, look, I take L's. Like, I do wins. I win. I just win a little bit more than I lose. That's one thing I like, because then it's like, okay, this guy's not BSing. Like, that's how it works.
I mean, if you go into his content knowing that, hey, he's going to be brash and he's going to give opinions that you might not agree with, but you're willing to, you know, if you watch one of his videos and you're like, oh, I don't like the way he talks or talks about things, I don't like his demeanor or whatever, then just simply don't watch it. I mean, but if you like that, you know, I just like the fact that it seems very real. And there's even times when I am like, well, I don't necessarily agree on that, but I can see his, you know, that's his viewpoint. He's entitled to it. It's not like I'm going to go in the comments and be like, no, you're completely wrong, you know, but, and sometimes it's funny, like he'll say something in such a serious, dry way that I'll laugh because I'm like, damn. So yeah. I'll catch myself laughing at some of it too. And he's
with the fresh air too, because he's 21 and he's like, he gets it. You know, I mean, there's not anything that's going to be handed to you. You're going to take losses. You're going to lose. You need to accept that. You know, like, it's very.
And he does interact. He interacts with everybody. He even puts out individual videos answering comments, and even comments that some content creators may block. You know, he'll bring them up and address them. So, you know, some of it can be off-putting to some people, but
yeah, look, if you don't like buying, selling cards and you're strictly collecting whatever, then that might not be for you, but it's very well done. He does a very good job.
Rip and List asked if this was live. It is, but Dustin interacting with chat is not. It's like on a 20-minute delay.
Am I frozen?
Me, Steve, and Dustin are live. Dustin interacting with comments in chat is about 20 minutes behind.
I'm just going to pretend like I freeze every couple of minutes so that that explains.
Don't, because that'll put you further behind on chat. There's a thumbnail for tomorrow, everybody.
Oh God. Transformer Secret Lair and Street Fighter Secret Lair. Okay.
I've never bought any of the secret layers.
Yeah, that's more Neo's Magic stuff, your Alpha Investments stuff, right?
Yeah, I stay away from the secret layers.
Are you guys going to buy the Wemby dip when it eventually happens, when the Spurs are 20-60 at the end of the season?
No.
No Wemby dip for Steve and Neo.
Wemby dip. That sounds like something you would get at like a party or something, some chips. And
I think this is referring to Aaron Rodgers, who I guess visited like witches or something too.
What?
Like, I mean,
he's like practicing. He got cleared to return to practice today.
People are
like a week ago.
People are saying like,
did he
even tear it? How? You know, like, this dude's like almost 40 years old. He went and visited those Star Wars witches when they used the black magic on him. It's weird.
Man.
All right, guys. Well, we're at an hour 20. I feel pretty good about this. I'm only 3 or 4 minutes behind in chat. So
3 to 4 minutes is like 60 comments. Chat's been like,
you guys have been on
fire.
fire. So thank you very much. Yeah. I mean, this has been awesome. We could literally say nothing and just roll through chat. We could literally just do not like just go live, say nothing, and just roll through the chat. And that's
Yeah, that's
like-
what I used to do.
so like most of your daily videos.
My Monday live stream, I used to just sit
Turn the
down,
camera on, do an ad read, and say nothing.
No talking points, no nothing. Just
COMC.
SlabMags. Michael Rubin said something. Bye.
And upload. All right.
How to become a YouTube content creator.
Yeah, that'll be our end of the year. How to become a sports card. Oh, speaking of, I've got a YouTube Hall of Fame video that I will need everyone's assistance on. That'll be coming out here probably tomorrow. I will be suited up. It will be.
is that the same one? The same one that you've been trying to get in for the last couple of years?
Well, I'm newly eligible. We all are. Well, Steve, you don't make content anymore, so you're not eligible for it.
No, none of us were eligible.
I thought you were like Pete Rose. Like, I thought you were like Pete Rose. I'm not.
We weren't even on the ballot until this year.
No, I couldn't be on. I wasn't eligible. 3 years.
Oh,
3 years of
I
being.
thought they had disqualified you.
I mean, they probably will.
Rose,
Probably will.
Not allowed.
Especially after tomorrow's video, they probably will. But
You took a sponsor. Doesn't that automatically like exile you from being able to get in?
no comment. No comment. We'll roll that video and we'll
Do
see.
they let addicts into the Hall of Fame?
Oh, don't you dare! Don't you dare! Oh my God!
Have you sold any unauthenticated rock autos?
Have you ever megabid on a card?
You have
I've
to
not
sell.
done either the megabid or the rock autos.
You
Have
have,
you
to
ever
sell some,
Decepticon bid?
you have to sell some fake rock autos first.
Decepticon bids, that's a whole another thing. I might have done a few Decepticon bids in my day.
Dustin bids.
Oh man.
Every one of Dustin bids ends in 11 for Stranger Things.
you might be right. You might be wrong. SCV is you, Neo, on a whiteboard 20 years younger. Now, SCV is a little quicker to the punch than our boy Neo over here. Neo, give him some credit, but I think SCV is a little bit ahead of the curve.
Well, he's 20 years younger. He should be.
Who refers to himself in the third person? Oh, because he says like SCV this and SCV that. He's like Ric Flair. He's like
Dustin does when he's off camera.
I can just call him. Yeah. But who doesn't, right? I think it's weird that you guys aren't doing it with me.
Hey, you're going to find something about every content creator that you don't like. It's just,
Yeah.
is there enough in his content that you do like to keep you watching? And if there's not, then why waste your time?
Or
And
hate
if you do
watch.
like it, if you do like it, watch it and take out of it what you can get out of
Clearly in the chat, we know hate watching is a thing.
it. Hate watch.
If I didn't know that before tonight, man, if Dustin tears his Achilles, we could all rejoice.
You're saying Glory Days isn't our #1 fan?
Yeah. Well, I just picked up on that. I don't think. That
Oh, Ham says his goal is to get in before you. I might probably vote for Ham.
Well,
I don't get it. Do I even get a vote? Oh, no.
Yeah, you do.
Like you said, I got to make content.
You have to have made it for 1 year, and technically, Steve, you did make it for a year. Just the last year's been a little bit.
You
whatever.
still do. You publish like what, one video?
No,
every
actually,
3 months?
it's been the last like.
Can we please get a live drive out of you?
It's been like 2 to 3 months because I did a lot during the national. I did a lot of national content.
I want a Christmas live drive.
and I did some
Yeah.
live drives.
We need to
I
talk.
want like go show off Christmas lights in the neighborhood or something. I don't
Man,
know.
I went to Christmas lights tonight before I came here down at the beach, man.
I like.
That should have been a live drive.
SCV's
It's
rigid.
cold.
SCV, we're just the rigid old dudes. Don't forget that.
That's okay.
We are old. We're well past our prime.
All right, guys. We're at
That's
11 hour 24, and I feel pretty good about how I did in chat tonight. I think I don't want to push it. I think we've done good work here. So, yeah, we've certainly confirmed there's a lot of hate watching on the channel, and you know what? It doesn't matter.
Chat wants you to get hurt playing basketball.
If you're watching, you're watching. Yeah, and I'll just come with my body cast and my torn ACL and my torn Achilles and make everybody happy.
You know what? Google AdSense doesn't care if you watch because you like us or because you hate us.
Oh my God. All right, guys. I think that's a wrap. Let's save all the other gems for 2 weeks from now. So let's just hold. All right. Chat, thank you very much. We appreciate you. We'll be back again tomorrow with another video, of course. We'll talk to you again later.
All right. Thanks, guys.